Hey guys, Last Wanderer here, and today I've got this super simple and compact box-powered Glowberry Nano farm to share with you all. Before I get into my farm's design and mechanics, let me first show you what you can actually do with glowberries. Like all food items, you can of course eat them. You can also use them to breed foxes, and once you get a baby fox, you can use them to speed up the growth time of that baby. But by far, its most useful application is being used decoratively. When placed underneath a block, you get the wonderful cave vine, a very good looking block. And once bone mealed, you get glowberries on the cave vine, which produces a light level of 14, the same as a torch. If you have a very large build, you could use hundreds of glowberries for all the cave vines. Now, while glowberries might be useful, they're not one of those resources you'd probably want to make a massive farm for, which is why I've designed this nano farm here. It's only 3 by 3 by 3 blocks in volume, and not only is it simple to make, but it's also pretty efficient too. When designing my Fox Power Glowberry farm, I actually tested a lot of designs before deciding which one was the best. At first, I started with the foxes above the cave vine. This was an attempt to prevent them from picking up the blueberries and to stop them from getting stuck in the hopper, because if they got stuck in the hopper, they'd be too low to harvest the blueberries. However, as it turned out, both of these were completely irrelevant. If you have two foxes in here, they'll almost never get stuck in the hopper because they'll both push each other into the corners. And, as it turns out, the hopper will always pick up the blueberry before the foxes do. In the second design, I used this comparator system here. So whenever the foxes harvested a blueberry, it will be detected by this comparator and dispense new bone meal. But, as I later found out, this could be between 40 to 50% less efficient than simply using an observer clock. And that's why I decided to just go with this simple observer clock in my final design. Not only is it more compact, but it's also faster too. One question you might have is how many foxes should you put in your Glowberry Nano farm? And that's largely up to you. With one fox, that would probably be slow, but it's important to keep in mind you won't just double your rates with each new fox you'll add. There'll be diminishing returns. Here are 3 setups of 4, 8, and 16 foxes, and all of these ran for 20 minutes, which is a typical Minecraft day. Over here, we got 2 and a bit stacks of items. Here, we got 4 and a bit. And here, we almost got 6 stacks of items. While we doubled the foxes from here to here, we only got 66% more glowberries. And from 8 foxes to 16 foxes, that is a very large increase, but we only got a comparable amount of 74% more glowberries from that design. So, in the end, I would recommend you have a minimum of 4 to 8 foxes, and you probably won't ever need more than 16. One last very important thing I should mention before I begin the tutorial is that this nano farm absolutely cannot be underground, and this block here must be a transparent block. If the nano farm is underground, the foxes will go to sleep during the day, which means they won't harvest any glowberries, so the nano farm itself just won't work. So make sure to have sky access. Finally, here's the tutorial. Here's everything you'll need. These are the standard materials. You'll also need a bunch of temporary blocks, a temporary slab, boxes. You might also need some leads or something to push them in place. And, of course, you'll need bone meal, because for every 1 bone meal you use, you'll get 1 glowberry in return. So, let's start with the tutorial. First, you'll need a double chest as your output, a hopper here, and then a dispenser facing this way right there. On the sides, you'll need some blocks, and for right now, we're going to place this slab right here and place this block here. I'll get back to that later. Now, just build up with your temporary blocks and get your foxes in this area. Because this is a tutorial, I'm just going to spawn my foxes in right here, but you'll have to get them in a different way, such as using leads, luring them in, using minecarts, breeding them, etc., etc. You get the point. Now, just one thing you gotta do is make sure they're not all clumped up in the center. I'll just pull one away with this lead, and they should all move places. It doesn't matter if they have items in their mouth. Actually, that can sometimes be beneficial because it'll prevent them from picking up glowberries as easy, though for this farm that won't be a problem because of the hopper. Now, once you have them all in place, you can break this block here, let them fall down, and put a glass block or some other transparent block up there, and you can remove all your temporary blocks except the slab. Put the glowberries right here to put in the cave vine, and just take your piston and push this block into place. Then just break the piston. All you have left to do now is just add in the observer clock, which is just a sticky piston here, a lever, an observer facing up, and another one facing down, with some redstone dust there. Then just add in some hoppers here, putting a double chest on top, and you can fill that up with as much bone meal as you need. Finally, your farm's complete. To turn it on, just flick the lever on. To turn it off, just flick it off. And there you have it. Everything you need for a working glowberry nano farm. Thank you all so much for watching. Feel free to leave any comments and check out some of my other videos. But for now, that's all I've got. So, goodbye. In case you want to flex, you can use Arctic foxes. How many times have you actually seen these guys in survival?